Hello, my friends. This is Doug Fabian. Welcome to my weekly ETF report. Today is Tuesday, December 30th, 2014. Hard to believe that we've come to the end of another calendar year. We're all going to be looking forward to 2015. What I wanted to do today in my brief presentation is to help you start to strategize what new investment opportunities will be profitable in 2015. And one of the things I want to do right now is kind of take you around the world and share with you what's happened in some of the equity markets globally, because I think some of last year's losers could become next year's winners, and by the same token, some of this year's winners can continue to be winners in the new year. I'm going to be talking a lot about the investment strategies I advise you to consider in the weeks ahead via my blog here at etfu.com, also via my weekly podcast and my videos. So there's going to be a lot of content to come to help you set the stage for 2015. But right now, let's kind of take a look back on where things stand today from the standpoint of the trends so far this year. I'm going to begin with the chart of the Vanguard VT, the global ETF. This represents all stocks in the world. This is the US, this is China, this is Japan, it's the UK, and you can see that this particular chart topped out in the July-August timeframe. It's kind of been oscillating above and below its 200-day moving average. But the globe is kind of slowing down right now, and that's one of the big worries that international investors are concerned about. But I think it's going to set up some new opportunities for us, which I'll get to in a moment. The second chart I have for you is VTI. This is the U.S. market, total stock market ETF, at new highs as of a couple days ago. We've had the traditional Santa Claus rally the last couple of weeks. We'll watch for what happens as we move into the new year. But the US, China, and India were the three big markets that were up this past year. US market up about 12%, India up about 30%, and China up over 40%. So those are the three big markets in the world that were positive. Most of the other markets in the world in dollar terms were actually negative on the year. Taking a look now, the next chart is Japan. This is the EWJ ETF. You can see that it is below its 200-day average. Japan, third largest economy in the world. It's struggling, but in a short-term downtrend today. Let's look at Europe for a moment. The ticker is IEV. The European ETF, way below its 200-day moving average. This is due to the fact that the euro is down and the European region is on the verge of a recession. So this is part of the whole global slowdown story. Next, I want to share with you a chart of China, and you can see that there's just been this huge liftoff in China. Just since June of this year, the Chinese stock market up over 40%. I've been recommending China shares at some of our core positions for our newsletter subscribers, and China is continuing to do very well after being in a three-year bear market in 2011, 2012, and 2013. We've emerged into a new bull market in China, and I'm expecting that to continue in 2015. And then India got off to a fast start at the beginning of this year. Here's the ETF INDY. We have now kind of consolidated some of the recent gains, but India is benefiting from low oil prices, as is China. And I think that the prospects for India are positive going into 2015. And then lastly, I have a chart of interest rates, and again, I've talked about this ad nauseum this year. Biggest surprise in 2014 has been the low interest rate environment. So now, what are you going to do with your money in calendar year 2015? I believe that there's more opportunity outside of the U.S. than there is inside of the U.S. I believe there are some countries that have been really beaten down that I'm going to be talking about in the first few weeks of the new year. I just want you to know that there's some great tools for you as an ETF investor out at etfu.com. And I would encourage you to become a member. etfu.com membership is free. And each week you'll get an email from us with a link to my weekly podcast. You're going to get ETF editorial. You're going to get access to all of the features, the videos, the special reports at the website. So if there's one thing you do over the next couple of days, you should go out to etfu.com and become a member and look for a lot more from us in the year ahead. I wish you and your family a very happy new year, and I'll see you on the other side in calendar year 2015. This is Doug Fabian. Thanks so much for joining me today.